I just want to point out that considering Hajime's score and personality, it's likely that she's killed over 40 sorcerers at this point, which is just kinda terrifying. Greetings from the far side of the galaxy. I'm Fury, your host of the most, here to bring you a story about ghosts, technically cursed spirits, but they're basically the same thing. Now that we've done the obligatory intro, let's dive right on into today's chapter, Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 158, Kogane. Today's chapter begins right where I said it would, with Hikari being shocked that Gojo of all people got sealed. Well, I did predict they'd be sitting at a table, but some stairs is close enough, right? Right now is also when the gang learns that Yaga is dead. Yuji is sad, Panda takes it in stride, and Hikari remarks that it's the worst thing to happen since Yakula got arrowed in the butt. Hikari is still a little iffy about helping out with the Colon game, mostly because this is a deal and he still plans on getting something out of it at least. Megumi assuages those worries by telling Hikari that he's actually head of the Zenin clan, or was head of the Zenin clan thanks to a certain Doomslayer. Here's where the chapter gets good, because before the group can leave, a bug... cursed spirit? Although I suppose it'd just be called the Shikigami since humans control it. The probably Shikigami's name is Kokane, and it appeared to give everyone an announcement. A new rule has already been added to the calling game. The new rule number 9 is basically a search function, and it's been added by a character that's brand new to the series, Kashimo Hajime. She carries a staff, I think, and appears to be someone quite comfortable with murder. We learn that she has some sort of beef with Sukuna, which isn't surprising considering Sukuna is a mass-murdering psychopath. Granted, it's really the pot calling the kettle black if Hajime of all people is mad at Sukuna for killing someone. We don't know much about her, so I'll save that for later on in the video. And the entire reason Kogane has appeared is because for some reason Yuji's already a player in the game. That catches everyone off guard because it means that Sukuna already knows Kenjaku, and moreover, those two made a deal. Let's make a sticky note of that because those two finally meeting is going to be a main event far down the line somewhere, hopefully in the Colon game arc. Funny side note, Hikari and Kirara have been so out of the loop that they don't even know that Sukuna got a host. It's funny to think that Yuji eating the finger happened like a year ago in the story as opposed to the 4 years IRL. Anyways, the focus of this little segment is that Yuji ate the finger of his own free will. I'm not sure how it relates to anything, but much like myself, they decide to talk about it later at some other point. The gang puts this new search rule to their advantage with a quick and dirty plan that totally won't go wrong. The plan is to find 2 people who have 100 points, beat them into a pulp, and force them to add 2 rules. Planned rule number 1, players can swap points around. This will avoid death by forced curse technique removal. And planned rule number 2, players can leave by spending points. On its face, it conflicts with the permanent clause, but Megumi thinks it'll work if a non-player takes their place. So while they search for Angel to break Gojo free, the gang decides on 2 targets, Kashimo Hajime, the sorceress who made rule number 9, and Higuruma Hiromi, who carries a hammer. I'm sure their names have some importance, but fuck me if I can read Japanese to figure that out. Since we know nothing about Hammer Bro, let's focus on Hajime. We know she's a resurrected sorcerer thanks to Kenjaku, and that she probably has a lightning-based technique since we see a little spark of electricity between her 2 hair nubs. Hajime also appears to share Kenjaku's opinions about the weak sorcerers of this era and created the search function for that reason. Let's make note of the fact that their targets are in 2 different colonies, meaning the team is going to have to split up into 2 groups. The 2 obvious teams are Yuji and Megumi and then Hikari and Kirara. Still, it leaves Panda as the odd man out. I suppose we could focus on these 2 teams while Panda sits around until Maki or Yuta shows up. Actually, Yuta's already a part of this game, so maybe Panda will go to him. And since Akutami-sensei is setting up a confrontation between Hajime and Sukuna, I imagine Yuji and Megumi will be the ones to go to her. In conclusion, I rate this chapter a 6.5 out of 10. I get that we're doing the necessary setup for the next arc, but that doesn't stop it from being boring. And regardless of what happens next, I'll be sure to be back next Sunday to review this chapter for you guys. As this video ends, please show your support by liking and subscribing, and as always, this is your host Fury, signing out.